Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome to the Sri Harinam CINTAMANI series. Every Saturday and Sunday we've been having this. And we are on the last chapter of Sri Harinam CINTAMANI, where the Prayojan is being discussed and how by chanting without offenses, we go to the Shuddhanam stage where we start relishing rasa. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 15th chapter is asking about, please Nag, explain me Nam Ras. You have explained Namaprad, you have explained Namabhas. So now you explain me Nam Ras, Shuddha Nam. What is the rasa in the pure holy names, nectar of the holy names? And then the Rasa Tattva discussion begins. Haridas Thakur starts answering. And we saw the Rasa Tattva, the 5 components of rasa, if you remember. Just 2 classes back, we discussed the components of rasa. And there is Shakti and Shaktiman, which are non-different. At the same time, they are same. And this Shaktiman has inconceivable potencies. And he employs these 3 kinds of potencies. These are the major divisions, Antaranga, Bahiranga, and Tatashta Shakti. And he manifests this world. So what does come from the Chitta Shakti? The Lord's name, abode, activities, the Lord's form, Sham Sundar, and the Lord's pastimes, all are from the Chitta Shakti. And they are all non-different. And then there is variety in it. Krishna is the property of his Shaktis. Krishna is Shaktiman and he owns his Shaktis. Shakti and Shaktiman are non-different. And there is reciprocation between the Shakti and the Shaktiman. So Krishna is Shaktiman and Radharani is Shakti of the Lord. So there is exchange of rasa. It's not just male and female. We have this conception because we are in male and female bodies. But there is Prakriti and Purush. Purush enjoys Prakriti. So that is how we discussed this in the last class, if you remember. Then Maya Shakti. The Maya Shakti is by which the Lord, employing the Maya Shakti, creates this material world. This is where we yesterday finished our discussion. Yes, we finished about the Maya Shakti. Now about the individual spirit souls. So today we will discuss the Jiva Shakti. Maya Shakti is okay. Now Jiva Shakti. 16 is over, right? I think so. Yes, 16 is over. Now 17. Okay, let us discuss now the Jiva Shakti. So the Antaranga Shakti has been discussed. That is part of the Chitta Shakti. The Maya Shakti has been discussed. That is the Bhairanga Shakti. And now the Tatastha Shakti, or the individual spirit souls, Jiva Shakti, is being discussed. Bhedaya Bheda Bhedamai Jiva Shakti Jiva Gane Tataste Prakashe Krishna Sevara Karane. The individual spirit souls, Jiva Shakti, Jiva Gana, Jiva Shakti, are simultaneously one and different from the Lord. Bheda Abheda. This is our philosophy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Achintya Bheda Bheda. So there is Bhed also, and there is Abhed also. And what is the Bhed? The Bhed is that the Jiva is Anu Chaitanya and the Lord is Vibhu Chaitanya. That is a Bhed. And Abheda means there is no difference also. Abheda, no Bheda. So what is there is no both? Both are spiritual. So both are spiritual. And this relationship between the Jiva and the Anu Chaitanya and Vibhu Chaitanya is inconceivable, achintya. That's why the word achintya has been used. They stay on the border of spirit and matter, tatastha. So the Jiva is situated on the tatastha. That means if you remember, I had shown the chart. This Jiva Shakti is there. It is on the border between matter and spirit. Spirit here is Chit Shakti and the matter is Achit Shakti. This is the Maya Shakti. This is the Chit Shakti by which the Lord's form, abode, pastimes manifest. And this is the Achita Shakti by which the 23 elements are created and the material world is created. So the Jiva is Tatastha. Tatastha, Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice explanation. Just like if you're walking on a bank of an ocean, you're walking on the sand and sometimes, the ocean water comes and you're walking on the ocean water. So sometimes you're on the sand, sometimes you're in the ocean water while walking. And that's why the Jiva's position is like that, Tatastha. It can either be in the material world, which can be compared to the sand on the beach, or in the spiritual world, which is the ocean of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean, the nectar of ocean of the devotion. Bhakti Rasa. Bhakti Rasa, Amrit, which is like nectar, Sindhu, ocean. So Jiva being Tatastha, that is what is mean, it's on the bank, situated on the bank. It can be either here or it can be here, either in the spiritual or the material. That's the point which is being mentioned here. They stay on the border of matter and spirit. Matter is the material world, spirit is the spiritual world. And what is by their constitution? By their constitution, they are meant to serve the Supreme Lord. Krishna Sevara Karane. That is why we have been created. That is the purpose Krishna has created, so that he can relish loving reciprocations. There's a footnote, let us see. Among the souls eternally imprisoned by Maya, some have turned their, oh sorry, physics one. The individual spirit souls, Jiva Shakti, are one and different from the Lord. They stay on the border of the spiritual potency. As one of Lord Krishna's potency, they are meant to serve Lord Krishna. Very clear footnote is there. Okay. Now, in the next three verses, that is text 18 to 20, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions the two states in which the individual spirit souls may be situated. Dui prakara dasha vishishta jiva. So here he spoke that the jiva can be in the spiritual energy or in the material energy. So what are the states in which the spiritual soul is situated? So that now he is stating in these verses 18 to 20. Let us go through these verses. Nitya bhadda, nitya mukta, jiva dui prakar. So there are two prakars of jivas. One are the nitya baddha and the nitya mukta. The nitya baddha are the souls, the conditioned souls in this material world. The nitya mukta are the eternal associates of the Lord of the spiritual world. Jiva dui prakara. So these are the two kinds. The spirit souls may be situated in two states of being. They may be either eternally imprisoned by Maya or eternally free from Maya's prison. Nitya Mukta Nitya Krishna Seva Adhikar. The souls eternally free from Maya's prison are qualified to serve Lord Krishna eternally. So the specific quality of those who are Nitya Mukta is they are having Adhikar to serve Krishna. So again, there is a footnote here, 7. Among the souls eternally imprisoned by Maya, some have turned their faces to Lord Krishna, towards Lord Krishna. They work to please Lord Krishna. The other souls in the material world, souls who have turned their faces away from Krishna, are attracted to things other than Lord Krishna. So again, now those who are bound by Maya, there are two categories that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is going to speak in text 19. So the footnote is about text 19 also. Text 19 makes it clear. The souls bound in Maya's prison live in the world of birth and death. So now he's speaking about the Nitya Baddhas. The Nitya Baddhas live in the world of birth and death. These souls may also be situated in two states. So the souls who are Nitya Baddha also are in two states. They may turn their faces away from Lord Krishna. Krishna Bahirmukh. Bahirmukh means they have turned their faces away from Krishna. Or they may turn their faces towards Lord Krishna. Krishna Antarmukh means we have turned. So we know that standard Upanishadic verse where the two birds are there sitting on the same tree. And one bird is engrossed in eating the fruits of its own karma, sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet. So because of past pious and sinful activities, he is suffering his karma. When he does pious actions, he enjoys. When he does sinful activities, he suffers. So that is the Jiva bird. The other bird is the Paramatma, who is just observing. Only if this Jiva bird turns towards the Lord, then his real auspiciousness begins. So there are famous verses there in the Upanishads speaking about it, about the sitting of the two birds. So that's what exactly it means. So among those who are Nitya Baddha, some have turned their face towards Krishna, some have turned their face away from Krishna. That is the point he is making. Okay, those who have turned their face towards Krishna, what they are doing? Antarmukha sadhu sange, Krishna nama paya, Krishna nama prabhavite, Krishna dhame yaya. The souls who turn their faces towards Lord Krishna stay in association of saintly devotees and chant Lord Krishna's holy name. By the power of Lord Krishna's holy name, they go to Lord Krishna's spiritual abode. So how we can understand whether we are Antarbukha or Bahirmukha? those who are antarmukha, they always stay in the association of saintly devotees and chant the holy names. And by the nama bhala, by the strength of the holy name, they attain Lord Krishna and his abode. Again, there is a footnote. Let us see what it is here. The souls who turn their faces towards Lord Krishna are very fortunate. They stay in the association of saintly devotees and chant Lord Krishna's holy name. Persons not as fortunate as they hanker after impersonal liberation brought by following the path of Gyan, or benefits brought by worshipping the many demigods in the path of karma. So even the souls who follow the Vedas, like the the path of Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, they have also turned their faces towards Krishna. But among them, the Bhakti Yogis are the most fortunate because they can ultimately take association of pure devotees, chant Krishna's name, and attain the Lord. It is only by bhakti we can attain the Lord, not by the process of jnana or by the process of karma. By the process of jnana, you ultimately merge in the impersonal Brahman. So that's why they are the most fortunate. The bhakti yogis. That's what is being mentioned here. So these are the three verses about the Jiva Shakti. Okay, now I'll have to ask questions. Now, among the Jivas, there are two states. First, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning. Which are the two states among the Jivas? Anyone? Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji. Okay, first let us give Madan Deshpande a chance. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, one minute today.
Nitya Baddha Prabhuji.
Nitya Baddha?
Nitya Jiv Baddha Jiv.
Nitya Jiv Baddha Jiv. Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha.
Nitya Bhagavata.
Okay, fine. So, what is the status of the Nitya Muktas? What are the Nitya Muktas doing?
Yeah, they are not conditioned, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is not there. That's sure. But what are their activity? The Nitya Muktas.
Engagement in the service of Lord.
Yes, they are engaged eternally in serving the Lord in the spiritual world. Yes. Okay. Now, what is the status of the Nitya Baddhas? Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Yes, Puji. The Nitya Baddha, they live in Maya's prison, and they have turned their faces away from Lord.
No. That is later on. Okay. First, they stay in Maya's prison in the cycle of birth and death.
Yes.
Okay. Now, among the Nitya Baddhas, there are two states again in Nitya Baddhas. What are the two states?
In Nitya Baddha, Prabhu, one is those who are hankering for liberation and Gyan is to that category.
No. You're going a little ahead. Go step by step. Among the Nitya Baddhas, there are two categories, two states. What are the two states? Anand Prabhuji, I'd like to hear from you. Hare Krishna. Okay, anyone else? Among the Nitya Baddhas, the two states, Satanand Chaitanya Prabhuji. Okay. Sunita Mataji. Yeah, you can speak.
Sorry, I don't remember.
Okay.
I missed.
Yeah. That's why we should, if you just, okay. So I'll now show everything in the chart. That will make clear. So here I have put everything in the chart now. Two kinds of jivas, the Nitya Baddha and the Nitya Mukta. So the Nitya Mukta are eternally liberated, are eternally eligible to perform service to Krishna. This is the status of the Nitya Muktas. The Nitya Baddha, Nitya means eternal, eternally bound. Bound by Maya and go through the cycle of birth and death. And among this, they are the Antarmukha and the Bahirmukha. The Mahirmukha are averse to Krishna. The Antarmukha are inclined towards Krishna. And because they are inclined towards Krishna, they associate with sadhus and can attain Krishna. And through the influence of Krishna, they progress to Krishna's abode. So I have now it is clear. So at least now among the Nitya Baddhas, which are the two states? Now I hope it is clear with the chart. So I would expect that this answer. Who will answer this? Among the Nitya Baddhas, there are the two states. Yes, Sunita Mataji. Yes, Girish Prabhuji.
Antarmukha and Bahirmukha.
Okay. So what are the Antarmukhas into? What they are doing?
Antarmukhas are doing Krishna's service.
No, Antarmukhas are associating with saintly devotees and taking the holy name.
Yes.
And trying to serve Krishna. Yes, definitely they are trying to serve Krishna, but their service is still not fully matured, become fully perfect. When they do sadhana and attain perfection, then the Nitya Baddha will become a Nitya Mukta then. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Fine. Okay, so let us now go to the next discussion of Sri Harinam Chintamani. I am not putting, I'm not taking many points in the PowerPoint now, because now I think many devotees are clear about the whole concept. Okay, now after explaining the state of the Nitya Muktas and the Nitya Baddhas, the Chit Shakti and the Maya Shakti, now he comes systematically the topic of Nama Rasa is being developed. Rasa Nama Swarupa. The holy name is nectar, rasa. Namata akhanda rasa kalika tahar Krishna adi samgya rupe vishishtate prachar. The holy name Krishna and the other holy names of the Lord presently known in the material world are all eternal nectar, akhanda ras. And it's Krishna or all other holy names connected to the Lord. They are Akhanda Ras. So in one verse, about what is the holy name? The holy name is Ras, filled with Ras. Akhil Rasamrita Murti. Krishna is called as Akhil Rasamrita Murti. And in the Padma Puran verse, it is mentioned Nam Chintamani Chaitanya Rasa Vigrasya. The holy name is Chaitanya. Chaitanya means it is consciousness. It is having consciousness. Otherwise, everything in this material world is dead. But the holy name has having Chaitanya. It is Chaitanya. And then the Naam, Krishna, actually, if you can have two, you can say what, two glasses. And in one glass, you keep the form of Krishna, person. And another form, there is the liquid, Namras. And both are what? Krishna only. So Krishna has descended in the form of his holy name. So there is one form, that is Krishna's form. Other form is the Nam, which is also non-different from the Lord. Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. The next verse mentions Rasa Rupa Swarup. Rasa Nama Swarup and Rasa Rup Swarup. The Lord's form is nectar. Swalpa Sputa Kalika Sei Rupa Manohar Shri Goloke Vrindavane Shri Sama Sundar. When the bud of the holy name is just beginning to open, Lord Krishna's dark and handsome form in the world of Golok Vrindavan is manifested. So as you take the holy name, and when your sadhana becomes matured, then what will happen? Naam will reveal Rupa. When the bud of the holy name is just beginning to open, when the bud starts opening, then you can visualize in your mental screen, because the heart is pure, you can see Shyam Sundar form, which is dark and handsome in the world of Golok Vrindavan. There is a footnote. When the budding flower of the holy name begins to blossom, the Lord's handsome and charming spiritual forms, which begin with the form of Lord Krishna, are manifest. So at what stage in our bhakti does the form of Krishna manifest? At what stage? We know there are 9 stages of bhakti. At what stage it manifests? Anyone can answer? Try. At what stage in our devotion the form Rupa, the Naam will manifest the Rupa also? An answer which has been typed and sent. Of course, please type the answer to only me so that others need not see it. Okay, Sunita Mataji. Yes. Yes.
Bhav, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is at the stage of Bhava. So, Reena Mataji also had typed it correct. So, we should not be in illusion and think that, just by chanting at any stage in our spiritual life, we can see the form of Krishna. So, at the stage of Bhava, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu mentions Utpanna Rataya. Utpanna means, he has developed Rati. And what? Krishna Sakshat Yoga, Darshan Yoga. Means he has the qualification to actually have Sakshat Darshan of Krishna. And that is what is, at the stage of Bhava. So here it is very clear. Rasa Rupa Swarup. Now in the next verse, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Rasa Guna Swarup. The Lord's qualities are nectar. That is why Bhava, when the flower is there, the flower, when it is just comes to the bud stage, that bud is called as Bhava. It is called as Prema Ankur. Ankur means the budding stage. The fully blossomed flower is called as Prema. Now we have just planted the Bhakti Lata Beej and we have to do Shravan Kirtan. Slowly the tree will grow. And this tree will grow from our heart. The creeper, the Bhakti Lata will grow. And we have to become free from all material desires. No bhukti, no mukti. So we'll cross the Brahmanda and then we'll go to Golok Vrindavan and it will give Krishna Prem. It will take the shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet and give Krishna Prem, and the bud of it is Bhava. And the fully blossomed flower is Prema. So it is at the Bhava stage only. Rasa Guna Swarup. The Lord's qualities are nectar. Saurabhita Kalika Se Chatushashti Guna Prakashe Namera Tattva Jnanena Nipuna. When the flower opens more and becomes very fragrant, then Lord Krishna's 64 transcendental qualities are openly manifested. Those who are learned and expert can see the Lord's qualities manifested in his holy name. So, you plant a mango tree, And after watering it for a few years, mango usually gives fruits after 3 years. We know that. Similarly, you plant the Bhaktilata Bij, you get the Bhaktilata Bij by association of sadhus, take up to the chanting of the holy names. Ultimately, the tree's essence is the fruit. The rasa of the tree is there in the fruit. So the fruit, when it is ripened, then it smells. Gandha. Gandha is there, right? So then you can what? That's why here it is mentioned when the flower opens more and becomes very fragrant. Just like flowers also, if the tree doesn't have flowers, then you cannot smell. But when the tree has flowers like the Malika flower or the Champaka flower, so immediately you can experience the fragrance. So similarly, with manifestation of bhava, all these qualities, transcendental qualities, the holy name reveals nama guna swarupa, and then rasa lila swarupa. It is also lila. The Lord's pastimes are nectar. Purna prasputita nama kusuma sundara ashtakala nitya lila prakartira para. When the flower of the holy name completely blossoms, Purna Prasputita. That means fully blossom flower, that is Prema, Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes. Pastimes he enjoys in the 8 parts of the day, Ashtakaliya Leela, what it is called. So only at the Prema stage we can understand the Ashtakaliya Leela which Krishna performs throughout the day. 24 hours. Ashta means 8, 8 into 3. So 3 hours is called as Yama. And 8 into 3, 24 hours. So all these pastimes, what Krishna does 24 hours in a day in the spiritual world are revealed. Pastimes beyond the touch of matter are manifested. Prakriti re para. They are manifested. So again, there is a footnote here. When the flower of the holy name is completely blossomed, Lord Krishna's spiritual eternal pastimes in the 8 periods of the day, pastimes that are beyond the touch of matter, appear in this world. So Nam, Guna, Rupa, Leela. So progressively, the holy name reveals first the name, and then form, and then qualities and pastimes. So as sadhakas, we should focus on just hearing the name. For many, many years in our sadhana, many devotees ask questions, can we try to visualize the form of Krishna? Can we picturize all that? Not at all necessary. Prabhupada said, just hear the Mahamantra. And with the purification of the heart, when you take the name, immediately the form will manifest in the heart, which is natural and spontaneous. So there's no need to artificially trying to visualize a picture of Krishna in the mind while chanting and think that we are exalted devotees. No need. In fact, just focus on hearing the name. The name is not different from Krishna. And if we do this sadhana for many, many years, then slowly, with the purification of the heart, form will manifest. That's the point. So any questions up till now, what we discussed? Any questions, any clarifications? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. I had one question. The Harinam reveals Nam, Rupa, Guna, and Leela. How does it reveal Nam?
We are chanting the name of Krishna, na? Krishna it is. Krishna is the name. So first, that's why we have to focus on the name, Nam. We have to understand Abhinnatvam Nama Nami. There is no difference between the name of Krishna and the person Krishna. Both are non-different. So this is also understanding and realization we don't have. And because we don't have this understanding and realization, that's why we commit offenses. We do namaparad, inattentive chanting. Because Krishna is present in the name. Krishna is there. We cannot see it. That's it. Because our senses are not spiritualized still. Krishna is there. So, very exalted personality, like the president or the prime minister, comes to your house. You're fully attentive. Your consciousness is fully focused on, catering to his needs. He's given you time and he's come, leaving everything. So, we are fully attentive. Our consciousness is fully fixed on him. Similarly, when you call out Krishna's name, Krishna is present. Krishna comes, but he sees that you are inattentive. Then Krishna understands. He's there in the Paramatma in the heart. He understands that. So we have to, that's why first understand the tattva, that abhinnatvam nama nami. And understanding this, we attentively chant, and slowly the name, we understand this siddhanta that abhinnatvam nama nami. Oh, the holy name is consciousness. Rest all in this world is matter. So we understand that holy name is consciousness, and we understand that the holy name is non-different from the Lord. Then we start preaching the holy names. And this happens at the stage of Namabhas. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, I don't recollect where exactly in purports, Prabhupada mentions at the stage of Namabhas, one realizes that the holy name is non-different from the Lord. And that's why he does Nam Seva. So how does he do Nam Seva? By preaching the glories of the holy name. That's why only a Madhyamadhikari can preach. That's what Prabhupada says. So that is why the emphasis what we were having is to have this siddhanta that the holy name is not different from the Lord, and attentively chant, and slowly we will realize that there is no difference between Krishna and his name. And slowly, with the purification of the heart, the name will manifest form. Also, a simple example to understand, just like a lover and beloved. In the lover's heart, the beloved is there, and whenever he hears her name, immediately the picture of her comes in the mind. Yes, this is natural in this world. So similar is Krishna's. Krishna is spiritual. He is our real lover, in fact. The love of this material world is it's not real love. So that is how we should understand. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Nama Rupa. Rupa is manifested when we are chanting. How
No,
gunas are?
Rupa will manifest when the heart becomes fully pure and there is no other material desire. There is no material desire. Then mat chitta, as Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, mat chitta mat kata prana. In the heart, who is there? Krishna is saying, I am there in these hearts of these devotees. And that's why they discuss bodhayanta parasparam. Whom you love, always you would like to discuss about him. So this is also the experience in this world. Whom you love, you would like to talk about him. Then you speak about his wonderful qualities also. So similarly, when Rupa will manifest, the qualities also. So because in this world, some people also have qualities, attracted to that qualities, you have love for them, then you talk about the wonderful qualities. But we should not talk about material qualities are not wonderful qualities. So we speak about the qualities of pure devotees, how wonderful qualities they have. So slowly, qualities of Krishna also will manifest. And the classic metaphor or example which is given is of the flower tree in nature. When the flower slowly starts blossoming, there's a fragrance. Oh, what a sugandha this is. So this is the quality of flower. So similarly, with Rupa, the qualities of Krishna start manifesting. Uddhav is speaking in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto. Aho bhakyam stanakal kotam. That Bhaki, Putana, she had smeared poison on her breast and she wanted to kill Krishna. But Krishna thought, oh, she has motherly affection, she has come to feed me milk. So Krishna took away her life as well as what? That poison. And by which Dhatri, he gave the position of a Dhatri in the spiritual world. Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Rajema. Uddhava is saying, who is that person who is more merciful than Krishna? Somebody who had come to feed poison to Krishna. Krishna saw the good qualities. At least she has come with motherly affection to feed me. So Krishna liberated her and gave a position which is unimaginable of a Dhatri. When Krishna kills the demons, they get liberation. But for Putana, it was a special case. She's a nurse in Mother Yashoda Mata's team who takes care of Krishna. Kamva Dayalu. So what is this? Dayalu is what? The quality of Krishna. So these qualities slowly start manifesting. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, means the devotee, he discusses about Krishna, about the gunas of Krishna. Aside means automatically.
Yes, it automatically happens. But as sadhakas also, we should try to study Bhakti literatures and understand what are the qualities of Krishna. The 64 qualities are mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But the experience happens when the Naam reveals first Naam, then Rupa, then Gunas. Then that is natural and spontaneous, the Gunas revelation. But as sadhakas, we should hear also about these qualities of Krishna. Okay, fine. So let us now go to the next. There's one more question. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, this Naam Ras, this is revealed at what Nishtha stage or Ruchi? What stage?
Yes, Namras steadiness in chanting, Madhyamadikari comes to Nishta stage. Slowly he becomes steady in his chanting because he's Ekagra. He is situated in the mode of goodness and he is able to attentively chant. So he is very steady in his practices. Then slowly with that Ruchi will come taste. Then Asakti. So in this also is experiencing rasa, but the rasa fully manifests in the bhava stage. So it's progressive. It's not like in watertight, in one stage only. It's progressive. Even now also as sadhakas who are doing bhajan kriya, anishtit bhajan kriya, where still we have not crossed the anarthnuri stage, we have some taste for chanting. We have some taste for attending Krishna's festivals. We have some taste for doing seva for Krishna. So we are experiencing rasa to a small degree. And that is what is sustaining us. That's why we are still now continuing with our spiritual lives, right? We have experienced some distinct taste when we go to the yatras, attend lectures of very exalted devotees. We feel some taste. And that taste is very distinct from the taste of this world, which we experience, whether it is in lover-beloved relation, Madhurya Ras, or Vatsalya, or Sakya, or Dasya. It is completely spiritual. And that's why this taste is what is driving us in spiritual life. It is taking us ahead in progressing in our spiritual life. Is it clear, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I had one more question, that how are the Leelas manifested? For example, I have this doubt that if a person doesn't know about the Ashtakaliya Leelas, a devotee, he doesn't know about the Ashtakaliya Leelas.
I don't know, somehow it got unmuted. Yeah. Continue.
So I wanted to ask this, that in the stage where the Leelas are revealed, a devotee, even if he doesn't knows about the Ashtakaliya Leelas, does the Leelas, are the Leelas revealed naturally to him?
Yes, it is revealed naturally. And it is only happening at the stage of prema. So we need not worry much about it now. Because his chitta, his heart is pure. Shuddha chit it is. He is in pure goodness. Shuddha sattva visheshatma prema suryancha samabhya. And evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. So his heart is pure, and in the heart, these leelas are also revealed of the Lord. We cannot fathom and understand these stages. We have a classic example of the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just seeing the stand, his consciousness was completely engrossed in the Govardhan Leela happening, seeing the sand due in Chatak Parvat in Jagannath Puri. So he used to just run towards Govardhan, attracted to it. So, all this is happening internally in the consciousness, and he collapsed there. And then he went in the internal consciousness, and he saw that Radha and Krishna are going in the caves of Govardhan, and he is stringing garlands. So all these pastimes internally are happening, and he is lying unconscious there. And all the devotees, Sarup Damodar, Govinda, they chant the holy name. He comes back to external consciousness. He said, why? I was seeing the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Why did you get me back to external consciousness? So this happened at the stage of prema, very, very exalted stage. Is it clear? So many questions. My goodness. Okay.
Prabhuji, I'm very sorry, but I just can't
No
abstain from. So I wanted to ask this question that when a person is at a prema stage in this world, so can he live in this world? How long can he live in this world if he attains this prema stage?
It's all up to Krishna's desire. It's completely controlled by Krishna. Okay, fine. Let us now, Leela Swarup we have seen, Rasa Leela Swarup, Bhakti Swarup, nature of devotional service. So text 25 speaks about Bhakti Swarup. Jive nama kripadaya swarupa ladhini samvitera sara yuta bhakti swarupini. When the holy name bestows mercy on the conditioned soul. Jiva nama kripadaya. Kripa udaya. Kripa ka uday jab ho jata hai. Devotional service personified. Devotional service is Ladini Shakti of the Lord. And the personified form of Ladini Shakti is Srimati Radharani. That's why devotees in Vrindavan, Prabhupada say, they take shelter of Srimati Radharani. It is Radharani can give devotion to us. So devotional service personified is manifested before that soul, which is a combination of the Lord's Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency, and Samved Shakti, potency of transcendental knowledge. So there is a footnote. Let us first see the footnote. When the individual spirit soul attains the Lord's mercy, the Ladini Shakti and the Samved Shakti combine to become devotional service personified. Bhakti Shakti it is called. So, if you remember, I have discussed this about the potencies of the Lord. I'll have to just go back. Yes. So the Samved Shakti and the Ladini Shakti. And the Jiva, when he starts hearing about Bhakti, he gets knowledge about himself and God. And slowly the Samved Shakti, as it starts accumulating, then he starts experiencing bliss in his knowledge about Krishna consciousness also. So the Ladini Shakti also slowly starts, adding there. But when the complete Samved Shakti and the Ladini Shakti combine, then what happens? Then that becomes what is called as the Bhakti Shakti. In fact, the Samved potency and the Ladini potency, they descend from the spiritual world into the heart of the sadhaka and he is bestowed by Krishna, by Krishna's mercy, bhava. So that's why bhava is bestowed. Bhava cannot be attained with our own endeavors. We can endeavor in our sadhana and reach nishta, and further endeavor in raganuga sadhana bhakti, go through ruchi and asakti. But bhava, after asakti is bhava. But bhava cannot be attained by our own endeavors. It is bestowed by Krishna. So it is a potency which descends from the spiritual world and enters the heart of the sadhaka, and he is bestowed bhava. And that becomes the bhakti shakti. So just like a person who is matured, and when he gets married, then he has the potency by which he can give birth to a child. So similarly, those who are having this bhakti shakti, they have the potency to make others take the practice of spiritual life, or sow the seed of bhakti lata in their hearts. So this is how we should understand it. So that was the point I had to discuss with respect to this verse. I hope it is clear. It's very important for us to understand this. Text 26, Bhakti Swarup. Any questions regarding this Bhakti Swarup? I hope it was clear. Any questions, clarifications? Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, please repeat it again in a simple way, because it was really difficult to understand.
Okay, again, I'll go back to the chart. Basically, when the jiva starts hearing Krishna Katha, he starts getting knowledge about Krishna. So he comes in touch with the samvit potency of the Lord. The Krishna Sambandha Gyan is actually the samvit potency of the Lord. So slowly he realizes about himself and about God. So the samvit potency is by which the jiva can know himself as well as God. Krishna also knows himself because of the samvit potency. So the samvit potency is that. So we come in touch with the samvit potency of the Lord by hearing about Krishna Katha and practicing spiritual life. That's why attaining knowledge, gaining knowledge is very important aspect of bhakti. This is bhakti knowledge. And the more we attain this knowledge, the more our sadhana, we get clarity in our sadhana, and the more we can progress in the path of abhidheya, the process of bhakti by which you can attain prayojan. So as we, we understand the devotional scriptures, we start getting the kind of taste. We become steady in our practices. And slowly, what happens? The Ladini, we start experiencing Anand, happiness. So as in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, the chapter is 4th chapter, just to give an hint. Otherwise, sometimes what is that verse? Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram ya vidyate. Okay. Tat swayam kalena atmana vindati. I'm not able to recollect which verse it is. Let me quickly. Oh, no, it is in the after the. Yes, after the purification of the heart has happened. Yes, nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddhim kalena atmani vindati. So in this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So once you start understanding, when we are touched with the samvit potency and start getting the transcendental knowledge, so there is nothing so pure as this transcendental knowledge. It's pavitram iha vidyate. It is very pure. And one who has accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge. enjoys. Vindati. Vindati means to enjoy. Spiritual enjoyment, this is. Within himself in the due course of time. Kalena Atmani. Yog Samsiddhi. So my point was that this transcendental samvit potency, when we understand Bhakti Gyan, then you start experiencing happiness. So the Ladini potency slowly starts manifesting in the heart. But when the complete samvit potency and the Ladini potency fully, that Shakti descends from the spiritual world and enters the heart of the sadhaka at the stage of bhava, then what happens? Then it becomes the Bhakti Shakti. That is the Bhakti Swarupa. And again, to make it more clear, if you see the verse of the stages of Bhakti given in Bhagavatam, Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata, Bhagavad Tattva Vigyan. Now he has got Tattva Vigyan. So this is Prema stage. Bhagavad Tattva Vigyan. Scientific knowledge for Mukta Sangasya Chayat. He is liberated. So at the stage of Bhava, one is liberated. We all that. And such a person who possesses this Bhakti Shakti, he can sow seeds of Bhakti in the heart. When you come in such a person, such an exalted Mahabhagavata association, others can take up to Bhakti. The Bhakti Lata Beej is sown in their heart by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Just like as an example, a person who is attained maturity, his semen has the potency by which virya, by which he can impregnate and a child is born. So similarly, those who are carrying the Bhakti Shakti, they can impregnate into the heart of the conditioned souls the Bhakti Lata, by which it will grow and give Krishna prema. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Okay, fine. So now we are coming to a very, very important discussion now. It's already 8:30, but I will leave a suspense for you. Okay, these two verses we'll discuss, and next week onwards, we will start with the science of rasa. The whole science of rasa is going to be step by step revealed. Very, very interesting topic and very, very important topic. How the whole science, the components of rasa are being discussed here. But I'll just take these two verses and end the discussion for today. Activities of devotional service. Bhakti Swarup is mentioned, now Bhakti Kriya. Avirbhuta hoya nama prasputita kari rasera samagri prakasheya sarveshwari. When the flower of the holy name completely blossoms, Avirbhuta hoya name prasputita kari. The goddess of devotion, Bhakti Devi, manifests the ingredients of rasa, transcendental mallows. So anyone knows what are the ingredients of rasa? We just 2 classes back discussed. What are the ingredients of rasa? Anyone knows? What are the ingredients of rasa? Samagri, rasa samagri. What are the rasa samagris? Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, yes.
I think, Prabhuji, it's that 5 elements, bhav, anubhav, those.
No.
Not that.
What are the 5 elements? 5 is correct. What are they?
It's bhav, anubhav, and sanchari. Five.
It is Tahi Bhav,
Sai bhav, yes.
Vibhav, Anubhav, Sanchari Bhav, and Satviki Bhavs.
Yes.
So first, the Stahi Bhav, the permanent emotion, whether it is Dasya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhurya Ras, at the stage of Bhava, the Stahi Bhav, is revealed. And then it combines with the other Samagri, that is Anubhav, Vibhav, Sanchari Bhav, and Satvik Bhavs, and all give rise to Rasa. This is spiritual Rasa. So there is a footnote. Let us see this. The potency that rules all becomes manifest through the medium of Lord Krishna's holy name. She manifests the ingredients of rasa. When the individual soul attains the Lord Mercy, the Ladini Shakti and Samvit Shakti combine to become devotional service personified. This I have already mentioned. So if you remember again in the chart, I mentioned just 2 sessions before about components of rasa. Vibhav, Anubhav, Stahi Bhav, Sanchari Bhav, and Satviki Bhav. Stahi Bhav is first what manifests. So when the Stahi Bhav, that is when the Jiva Swarup is revealed, that I am spirit soul, and what rasa I am related to Krishna, and Krishna also reveals himself at the stage of Bhava, then all these components, Anubhava, Vibhava, Vabhichari Bhav, and Satvika Bhav, they are, these combine and they give rise to rasa. Now the soul is experiencing rasa in relationship with Krishna. Now this rasa is, we are always having, the jiv cannot live without, the living entity cannot live without rasa. So we are experiencing rasa in the form of, having nice gulab jamun, jalebi. We are tasting this material rasas. And we are tasting rasas in this world in the form of husband-wife relationship, Madhuri Ras. Then there is 2 friends, Sakya Ras. Then there's a mother and the child, the Vatsalya Ras. So there is rasa there also. And these components are there. But the mundane rasa is material. The rasa in relationships is on the mental platform. But the spiritual rasa is in relationship with the soul and the supreme soul. And this is eternal. And this is pure nectar. So this is a very vast topic. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is going to start discussing this now after explaining it. Vishuddha Chinmaya Jiva Labhya Swarupa Seira Se Praveshe E Apa Rupa. Attaining his pure spiritual form, the individual soul then enters his rasa. This is very beautiful and wonderful. So when does the individual soul attain the spiritual form and enter into rasa? Anyone? When does he attain his spiritual form, pure spiritual form, and rasa? When does he attain? Yes, Mataji.
You mean to ask the stage?
Pardon?
The stage? Which stage?
Which stage? Yes, correct. Which stage I am asking?
Prema? Prema.
No. At the stage of bhava. At the stage of bhava, his sarupa is revealed.
Okay.
And it is very beautiful and wonderful. Adbhuta. The individual soul then regains his original spiritual form. The spiritual potency manifests the rasas and the soul enters the rasas. Now he just dives into the bhakti sagar. And there are loving reciprocations between the soul and the spirit soul. The supreme soul. That is when we dive into the bhakti ocean. Just like many devotees like to they like to swim in the river or the ocean, and for many hours we stay there because we are experiencing some pleasure. So similarly, we have to dive in the bhakti ras eternally and take pleasure there. So there is one slide to be discussed, and then we'll wind up for today. Yeah, I have mentioned these components of rasa and then components of spiritual rasa. I have mentioned already this. So I will start this discussion more in detail now with the next sections, because the next section begins with all the components of rasa discussion. So that we will take up next week. Thank you very much. Any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Okay, so we'll stop here. Shri Harinam Chintamani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur